Undefeated.
They're playing
All right.
England.
So, Jim, you're up next with Tropical Update. What are you looking at?
We're going to watch what was that coastal low last week that we talked so extensively about, actually sitting over Bermuda right now as an area of index.
All right, something to watch. We'll be back with this. Storm Tracker Jim Cantore and Tropical Update.
You drop 40 grand on a new set of wheels, then wham, a minivan T-bones you. Guess what? Your insurance company will only give you $37,000 to replace it. Depreciation, they claim. How can my car depreciate before its first oil change, you ask? Maybe the better question is, why do you have that insurance company?
With Liberty Mutual New Car Replacement, we'll replace the full value of your car. See car insurance in a whole new light. Liberty Mutual Insurance.
Need new tires? Right now at Pep Boys, when you buy 3 select tires, you get the 4th tire free, instantly. Plus, get up to $80 off select Cooper and Hankook tires. Trust the boys to get you there.
Sunday nights. When the wind blows. The Weather Channel unravels nature's darkest secrets.
I saw something. I don't know how to explain it.
Every Sunday.
It's a story that's got a life of its own.
A new tale of weather legend.
It may have just looked like a storm, but they were dealing with something far worse.
American Supernatural. Premiering Sunday at 10 on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 80 degrees with a thunderstorm. Tonight, thunderstorms early, low 74. Chance of rain, 80%. Rainfall may reach 1 inch. Tuesday, thunderstorms developing in the afternoon, high 88. Chance of rain, 80%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Generations of one family working on a piece of land here.
Oh my God, it's basketball!
Is living and facing danger every day.
Alaska: The Last Frontier. New season. Check your local listings.
Introducing York Minis. A bite-sized new way to enjoy the full-size sensation of peppermint and rich dark chocolate. New York Minis. Get the sensation.
All right, guys, let's huddle up here and talk probiotics.
For digestive health?
Yes, and did you know that True Biotics is a daily probiotic that helps in 2 ways? It supports digestive and immune health by working in your gut, where 70% of your immune system lives. Try True Biotics today.
Let's stay a step ahead of this. Size up that and stay toasty in here. And let's not do any of this. Let's go to school. Let's go to save. And then let's go to town. So we can enjoy the view and look for what's next. Let's do this. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot. Get Owens Corning EcoTouch R30 installation for just $13.98 a roll.
Zantac heartburn alert! Stop! Nexium can take 24 hours to work. Zantac's different.
The world you've been waiting for is here. Come and live it. Amazing memories are within reach at a Universal Orlando Resort Hotel. Universal Orlando Resort. Vacation like you mean it.
Will that be all, sir?
Thank you. Ordering Chinese food is a very predictable experience. I order B14, I get B14. No surprises. Buying business internet, on the other hand, can be a roller coaster white-knuckle thrill ride. You're promised one speed, but do you consistently get it? You do with Comcast Business, and often even more. It's reliable, just like Kung Pao fish. Thank you, Pink.
Reliably fast internet starts at $89.95 a month. Comcast Business, built for business.
6603. For a free brochure, call 1-800-571-6603.
The wildest weather ever caught on camera. Oh my God! Tonight, tomorrow night, every weeknight, wild weather at 8. Coming up next.
Here in the lab with Storm Tracker Jim Cantore for the Tropical Update. And Jim, a few areas really paying attention to. You have, once again, Cabo needs to have a heads up, right?
There's going to be a system rolling along the Mexican coast that we absolutely have to watch.
And Bermuda.
And Bermuda, yes, some stormy weather in Bermuda. And this, amazingly, was the same storm that we watched move up the East Coast last week.
Let's take a look at this.
Let's take a look at it. So we'll bring up all these areas of invest for you. You can see what we're talking about. First, 97L, which actually got an invest because last night some pretty good thunderstorms around it. And really, there was some missing pieces with this becoming a subtropical storm. And really, today was a test to see if those would persist. They did not. So all day, Chris, we've seen the chances of this developing go down. We have 90E, which has got a pretty high chance of developing. This has been the hotbed all year in the East Pac. And then, of course, Rachel, which is still hanging around probably for another couple of days as a well-defined low-level circulation. So let's get into this and talk a little bit about what we've got out there, starting off with the Invest 97L. Now, again, I told you the thunderstorms didn't really persist all day today. And you look at this and you say, what? What do we got here? We got one little blow up, one little puff almost right there on the southwest side of Bermuda, southwest side of the fish hook. It's been a stormy day, showery day. Yesterday, about 1.25 inches of rain. There'll be another 1.25 inches today and tonight. As a matter of fact, the next few hours in Bermuda are going to be pretty nasty, so stay inside if you can. Again, we're down to 10% now in 48 hours as well as 120 hours. So not worried about this. The wind shear is going to be on the increase to the north, but I'll tell you, you looked at this thing at the Visible this morning, and, you know, the banding features are here, really well-defined low-level circulation, not only on satellite, but I got a chance to look at the radar earlier as well, Chris, and I mean, look at this. Definitely a circulation center here, about 60 miles. So it's really, this is not moving all that much. It's just sitting here right now. It's about 60 miles to northwest of Bermuda, which is going to be where the plus sign is. But look at the showers that are coming in from the southwest. Right now, the heaviest stuff is just to the west of the tiny island of Bermuda and through here, but we could easily get into that a little bit later on tonight. But here's the deal. It is not a warm system aloft, or as you know, we would see an anticyclone or a ridge. We have an upward low. We have a counterclockwise spin, so it's cold core aloft, and that's usually the telltale sign. I told you we watched this last week, Wednesday, remember Friday? We were worried about the rain, you know, washing out Jeter's last game. Never happened, all right? Never happened. They had a few showers earlier on, and then this thing moved on out. Big high pressure for the weekend, but it did stay intact and move down toward Bermuda and actually got a little bit better organized in terms of its low-level circulation and banding, but little less, obviously, in the way of upper air, and we may have had a system there. All right, so strong shear will be its demise as we go through the next couple of days, but not the demise of this storm. This is a huge northern Atlantic gale here, sitting just to the east of Greenland. The pressure with this, Chris, is about 952 millibars. If you saw the pictures of the volcano in Iceland now accompanied by a snowpack, that snowpack came from this storm. All right, so it's produced 75-mile-per-hour winds, hurricane winds, as these North Atlantic gales, especially with that low pressure, can do. So here's Rachel. Notice the shear from the southwest is blowing off a lot of the high and mid-level moisture. As a matter of fact, some of that has come on as far east as Dallas tonight. But the low-level circulation is intact. It's just not tall enough to really be, you know, it's being steered by winds in a different flow. There's no wind to steer it. So it's just sitting there. But the taller the thunderstorms are, they're getting sheared off to the northeast. And right now, they're just kind of sitting there on the northeastern semicircle. But remember, this was a hurricane. It actually got up to hurricane strength, and I believe the 12th hurricane of the season. The more and more we get into October, the more and more harsh this area is going to be with upper level winds. Okay, so that's the good news. The bad news is we still have an area of disturbed weather that we have to watch to move along the Mexican coast. So another couple of days with Rachel. It's a low level swirl and no threat to anybody, even in the moisture. We're watching this area down to the south of the Gulf of Tehuantepec. The Hurricane Center now ups the 120 hour with this to 90%. All right, so a 90% shot, very, very high chance that this will develop. This has been the hotbed all year. This is where we've seen our breeding ground for these monster hurricanes in the eastern Pacific. This one should be no different, and it's going to move up along the Mexican coast. The big question is, where does it develop? Does it develop down here, or does it wait till it gets close to the Mexican coast to develop? Either way, some of the models, Chris, are bringing it up towards Cabo, so it's going to be something to watch there in the days to come. But initially, for Mexico, we're going to need to watch it because of the chances for some heavy rain here, especially if it's still disorganized. The more disorganized, I think the better chance for heavy rain.
All right, Jim, thank you very much. Appreciate that. Still ahead here on Weather Center Live, we're going to let you know the areas that we are keeping an eye on for the threat of severe weather throughout the night, and let you know if we need to break into regularly scheduled programming to help keep you safe. We'll be right back after this.
Currently in our area, 80 degrees with a thunderstorm. Tonight, thunderstorms early, low 74. Chance of rain, 80%. Rainfall may reach 1 inch. Tuesday, thunderstorms developing in the afternoon, high 88. Chance of rain, 80%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
I'm Nick Walker, and these are the areas we're watching for severe weather tonight. We've got a severe thunderstorm watch that encompasses much of northeastern New Mexico up into Colorado. That goes until 9 o'clock Mountain Time. And then a tornado watch here for northeastern Colorado into portions of Nebraska and Kansas, also until 9 o'clock. Thunderstorms have already erupted, putting down hail and damaging winds from New Mexico northward. And we have several warnings out now around portions of Colorado all the way down into New Mexico as thunderstorms rumble on into the Texas Panhandle. Washington County could see hail or damaging winds here in Colorado. And southward, too, we're looking at Kiowa County here as these thunderstorms continue to push to the west of Lamar. Down into New Mexico as thunderstorms make their way toward Texas, Harding, Kay, and Union counties under warnings now until 6:15 p.m. We'll continue to keep a close eye on all of these areas here, and we will break into programming as needed to warn you about more hail and damaging winds.
3 weeks after Hurricane Katrina inundates Louisiana and Mississippi, an even more powerful storm takes aim at Houston, Texas.
Just it was getting darker and it's coming in, and the winds were getting stronger.
Follow the path of destruction from inside the storm, block by block and minute by minute. From the chaos on the highway.
Everybody from central Texas to the coastline was evacuating. It was absolutely crazy.
To a small airport where a family makes a frantic attempt to outrun the storm.
That's what you really got to get away from, is that monster.
And an evacuated hotel where a group of storm chasers get more than they bargained for.
There's just blood everywhere. If we didn't stop the bleeding really soon, he wasn't going to make it.
Experience the most dangerous hurricanes on the planet as if you were there, caught in the eye of the storm. This is Hurricane 360. September 22nd, 2005, Norman, Oklahoma. Student meteorologist and storm chaser Simon Brewer is packing up video and monitoring equipment. He and his fellow University of Oklahoma storm chasers are getting ready for Hurricane Rita, a monster hurricane heading straight for the Gulf Coast.
The environment in 2005 was very conducive for strong tropical cyclones, especially in the Gulf of Mexico. The sea surface temperatures were several degrees above normal.
The storm chasers plan to drive 500 miles south, directly into the eye of the epic cyclone. But they'll have to avoid 3 million desperate people going in the opposite direction. hundreds of thousands of cars snarl the freeways heading north from Houston, Texas. It's one of the biggest evacuations in U.S. history.
Instead of just people from the coastline evacuating, everybody from central Texas to the coastline was evacuating, and it was absolutely crazy.
The previous day, the National Hurricane Center at Miami designated Hurricane Rita a Category 5 storm at the top of the scale. With sustained winds of 180 miles per hour, meteorologists are predicting Rita to make landfall as a Category 4 storm in less than 48 hours.
Hurricane Rita now has a 120-mile-per-hour sustained winds, and we could still see perhaps Category 4 and 5 effects as the storm makes landfall.
Just 3 weeks earlier, Katrina devastated New Orleans and the Mississippi coast, killing more than 1,800 people and shocking a nation.
Hurricane Rita was a stronger-looking tropical cyclone than Katrina.
Houston is determined not to become another New Orleans. Eric and Shelley Breedlove are hurriedly loading hundreds of disposable diapers and coolers full of frozen breast milk into their cars. The Breedlove family includes a 20-month-old boy and identical 5-month-old quadruplet girls born 2 months premature. Eric and Shelley decide that riding out the storm at home is a risk they can't take.
All 4 of them had to have heart surgery when they were 2 and 3 days old. 3 of them did have brain hemorrhages, compounded by the fact that they were so premature, that they were so early.
Since birth, the 4 girls have had to wear apnea monitors, calibrated to set off an alarm should one of them stop breathing. But the monitor's rechargeable batteries can only last about 12 hours.
We were very afraid to not have that safety net of knowing that our children were still going to be breathing. And you never know how long your power is going to be out if a hurricane hits you bad enough.
It continues to move this way, and also huge waves and water level rise, a huge concern with this storm system.
They were very much predicting that it was coming right on top of us.
We left our house and our 2 vehicles, and my wife and the kids in the van, and then I drove my truck and I had the dog in the bed of the truck.
Their plan is to head for Tyler, Texas, 200 miles north to stay with relatives. But within minutes, the Breedloves are snared in the epic gridlock. Houston is at a standstill. Some 400 miles away in the Gulf, Rita is taking dead aim, moving at a steady 9 miles per hour. 240 miles northeast of Houston. After getting an emergency deployment call from FEMA, paramedic Steve Edwards and his partner are rushing from Augusta, Georgia to Houston to assist in the evacuation.
And when we got to a truck stop in Shreveport, the trucker asked us, "Where are you going?" And we told him, "We're heading down this interstate to Reliance Stadium in Houston." He said, "Oh, no, don't go that way. Go down this back highway because the other one's just clogged full." So we called the FEMA Command Center and asked them, "Are we to continue or what?"